There are days when making art feels as natural as breathing, and we're eager to get lost in the creative process. But some days we stare at the surface and we might need a little spark, a small push to help us break through the hesitation. Hey everyone, it's Chris Loud. In this video, I'll walk you through a quick 10-minute exercise that helps kickstart creativity by building an abstract art piece with only 3 shapes. First, I'll do one demo using acrylic paint and a little charcoal, and then another using homemade collage paper. Here is the prompt I used for this exercise. You have 10 minutes to paint. Choose 3 colors, plus you can use black and white, or if working on a collage, 3 pieces of whatever material you're working with. And the goal is to create an abstract art piece with 3 shapes. If you like more prompt exercises like this, I'll leave a link to the 50 abstract warm-up painting prompts download in the description. So I'm using some delicate surface frog tape to kind of block off the areas where I want to paint in these shapes. And wasn't thinking a whole lot when I did this. That actually took quite a bit of my 10 minutes to put that tape down. And just used a little bit of charcoal to create these shapes, just some regular shapes. The collage piece won't be quite as obvious as this one is. The colors that I'm using are yellow ochre, alizarin crimson, and cadmium yellow, as well as Mars black and titanium white. And within the shapes, you can do whatever you want. You can make marks, paint stripes, play with the color, toss in some drips. You know, it's up to you, whatever you want to do with that. So it's really kind of just to play. So you can see that I've scraped a little bit of that excess paint back because I needed it to dry since I only had 10 minutes, and squirted a little bit of water droplets down. And I thought I would use this bubble wrap, excuse me, to put down and make some textures. And I did get some textures, but something that kind of worked out in my favor is when I put that down, it pulled up some of those water drips. I was actually going to use a paper towel to try and pull that off, but that worked to my advantage doing that. So it was quite beneficial to kind of experiment within these shapes. And I'm just doing some little things, but I did pull that little tidbit away with the water droplets and bubble wrap, that it really did kind of pull that water off and make some nice marks. And at the end of the video, I'll show you each piece as well as some close-ups so you can see a little more with the details. So I'm using that Mars black paint, and in all 3 of these shapes I picked up a little bit of different colors within the tip of the brush to kind of spread that, and again, with 10 minutes I didn't have a whole lot of time to do a lot of mixing or anything, so I just wanted to put some of that paint down. I thought maybe I would mix it in the shape, but I really liked the way that it looked when I put it down, so I just kind of left that. So I'll pull this tape off and show you some different orientations, and again, at the end of the video I'll show you more in more detail here, and then we'll move on to the collage piece. And again, like I said, the collage piece is going to be a little different. So if you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, feel free to subscribe. And as always, if you have any feedback or best practices or questions, I'd love for you to leave me a comment. So I just grabbed a stack of some collage paper that I painted on, and I've got tissue paper, newspaper, even a piece of notebook paper that I cleared my braider off one time, and just kind of looking to see if any of these colors will work together, if I can do anything within this stack of papers, and decided to really kind of focus on that newspaper, to put that down first, and then use 2 other pieces to kind of create the shapes within that. So when you set a 10-minute timer and limit yourself to using just 3 shapes in an abstract piece, you're really inviting spontaneity into your process. And the idea is to paint now and think later. This kind of constraint is incredibly freeing. It pushes you to let go of perfectionism and go with your gut, and it lets unexpected things happen on the surface. Very much like, what happened with that bubble wrap that worked out differently than I thought it was going to. And working within these boundaries also sharpens your sense of composition. You start focusing on balance and harmony and movement, kind of learning to make every shape count. And this is a fantastic way to strengthen your compositional instincts without getting bogged down in details. And remember, compositions don't have to be bold and in your face. They can also be, soft and subtle. So you can see that I cut some of that paper out. I'm using a hardwood tempered panel that was gessoed. And I'm just fixing these down onto that with some gel medium. And there's something incredibly refreshing about kind of stripping things down to the essentials. The time limit and the shape restrictions naturally, brings focus, which kind of forces us to think creatively and make decisions fast. It feels, playful, almost like a game, and keeps you from overthinking, which is something, we all get caught up in. And this exercise can even help us break through creative blocks by encouraging a lighthearted exploration. Sometimes all it takes to feel re-energized is a quick, intuitive exercise that reminds you of the joy of making art without overthinking every step. So last night was First Friday Art Walk, and we went to a few galleries and saw some fantastic art. And one of my favorite exhibits was titled The Spontaneous Gesture by Patricia Coughlin. I'll leave a link in the description so you can check out her exhibit online and see some of her amazing work. I had the opportunity to have a nice conversation with Patricia last night and really enjoyed talking to her. And something that I found really interesting was that the owners of the gallery found her because they visited her studio during an open studio tour, and they asked if they could represent her. And something she said was not expecting. She didn't realize that gallery owners or curators actually went to any of those. She was just opening it up for other artists and people that might want to buy some of her work. But I really enjoyed talking to her and really liked her work. So if you have those open studio tours in your area, try and participate in some of those. They definitely can be beneficial, both by selling some of your work, but also just some of the other people and artists and gallery owners that you meet doing that. And with that said, challenge yourself to put yourself out there. Take a class. Post your work on social media. Build a website. It can be something simple like show someone your art who's never seen it before. Participate in studio tours. Visit a gallery. Just talk to other artists. So I show you the close-ups and final pieces here. And you can see some of those water droplets that were pulled off, but you can also see a little bit of that bubble wrap where that created some texture and shapes. And then some different orientations with this piece. And for a 10-minute exercise, I really enjoyed this. I enjoyed this piece. I'll probably leave that one alone and just in my notebook. And this is the collage piece, and you can see the three shapes. They're very different. They take up the entire panel. But this is one that I look at. I could leave it alone, but this looks like a great background for another piece to work on. So I might do that. So thanks for watching, and keep on painting.